Good morning in the Americas, good evening in Asia, good afternoon in Kenya and East Africa. It's exactly 4 p.m. Time for Citizen TV Briefs. My name is Jimmy Mbogo. Let's get you informed on some of the stories making headlines here in the country. Now, High Court Judge Bahati Mwamuye has declared a protest ban by former Nairobi Police Commander Adamson Bungei during the 2024 Finance Bill demonstration illegal and unconstitutional. In apparent censure of the authorities' action, the court awarded a total of 2.2 million shillings in general and exemplary damages to 11 petitioners who sought its intervention, granting each 200,000 shillings with 100,000 for general damages and a further 100,000 for exemplary damages as compensation for the violation of their constitutional rights. At the center of the case was a media alert issued by Bungei on the 18th of June 2024, in which he purported to ban all protests and public assemblies within Nairobi Central Business District, CBD. The case was filed by 11 protesters represented by Pareno Solonka of Solonka and Solonka Advocates LLP against the Honorable Attorney General, the Inspector General of Police, and Mr. Bungei. The court found the ban a clear violation of the Constitution, specifically infringing on the right to peaceful assembly, freedom of expression, human dignity, protection from arbitrary arrest, and due process, as enshrined under Articles 27, 28, 29, 33, 37, 49, and 244 of the Kenyan Constitution. Justice Mwamuye ruled that Police Inspector General has no power to arbitrarily outlaw the right to assemble, to picket, to demonstrate, and to present petition to public authorities under Article 37 of the Constitution. The court also saying police had acted beyond their legal powers and emphasizing that peaceful protest is a fundamental right in democratic societies.
Information of their members, donors, or beneficiaries or other private affairs without sufficient safeguards or justification, and it is thus invalid. 4. A declaration being is hereby issued that the Board of the Public Benefits Organizations Regulatory Authority, as currently constituted under Section 35(1) of the Act, is unconstitutional. 5. A declaration being is hereby.
Now, the Law Society of Kenya, LSK, is calling for immediate legal action against police officers implicated in extrajudicial killings, particularly during last year's Gen Z protest. LSK President Faith Odhiambo on Wednesday led a group of advocates in condemning the killing of protesters and failure to hold those responsible accountable.
Of Parliament, in particularly those who hold, who are members of the bar, that under Chapter 6 of the Constitution, their role is to represent the people and not to defend the oppressors. And their constitutional duty to provide oversight does not contemplate that they instead justify unconstitutional actions sanctioned and committed by those they ought to oversight. Further, we call on all our other members who are elected parliamentarians that they have a greater duty than their colleagues on account of their oath of office as advocates of the High Court of Kenya. That oath cements their immutable responsibility to uphold the rule of law, which is cradle to protecting the right to life. The Law Society of Kenya is apprehensive that if the current volatile situation within the public and the national security organs persists or is further exuberated, Kenyan sovereignty, democracy, and constitutional will be at the brink of imploding. Accordingly, it is the duty of every right-thinking citizen, especially those entrusted with the positions of power and service, to take urgent, deliberate, and objective action to end the menace of extrajudicial killings, bring its perpetrators to book, and find justice for all victims of these heinous criminal elements within our security organs.
Now, concern is growing in Nakuru County after the sudden development of sinkholes in Nakuru West and Eburu Mbaruk in Gilgil following heavy rainfall on Tuesday evening. In Nakuru West, London Kabarak Road has been cordoned off after a sinkhole emerged, posing a serious risk to motorists and residents. According to witnesses, the sinkhole appeared shortly after the downpour. Nakuru West Deputy County Commissioner Ali Omar has issued a warning to residents in Londiani area to remain vigilant and avoid potentially unstable grounds. The sinkhole phenomenon is not new to the region. Over the past 3 years, parts of Gilgil, Kaptembwa, London and Ngata have been affected by sinkhole formation during the rainy season. Experts attribute this trend to Nakuru's unique geological structure, situated at the base of the Great Rift Valley, which is prone to underground erosion and instability.
Tumechukua hatua ya kwamba tumeweza kuwaita watu wa Kenha na Kura ili waje wajaribu kuifunika, na kwa sasa tunaona shimo lenyewe limefunikika na tutajaribu kuangalia vile maji itaweza kuteremka kwa hapa kwa njia nzuri.
Nahitaji kama mainjinia ambao wale wanashughulikia na hiyo laini wangeangalia ni wapi barabara inachengwa na jinsi ya kujenga haya manyumba yasije yakasinki yalete yalete problems.
Now from Nakuru, we cross all the way to Kirinyaga County, where 7 management committee members of Udheri Sacco, a subsidiary of the new Ngariama Farmers Cooperative Society in Gishogo, Kirinyaga County, have been individually and collectively surcharged a total of 39 million shillings and barred from holding any leadership position in cooperative societies for the next 10 years. The National Cooperative Commission found the members responsible for the loss and misappropriation of more than 39 million shillings in farmers' earnings. According to Kirinyaga Commissioner of Cooperatives Agnes Mashora, the officials failed to enforce cooperative laws, neglected staff supervision, and did not follow up on loan repayment, all of which contributed to the financial loss. She emphasized that the surcharge should serve as a warning to other cooperative leaders to uphold the law and safeguard members' funds. Kirinyaga County CEC for Trade and Investment Calbert Njeru noted that the most culpable committee member has been surcharged more than 6 million shillings, while the rest face penalties ranging in the hundreds of thousands. The 7 officials have been given 30 days to respond to the audit finding issued by the Commissioner of Cooperatives and to appeal if they deem it fit.
In the management of society affairs, the former management committee are hereby held individually, jointly, and severally responsible for their actions and are barred from holding an elective position in any cooperative societies for a period of 10 years.
We have learned much. Actually, it's also a learning lesson for our people. I want to appeal to every circle, to anybody that is managing the resources of our people. Kindly do that which you need to do, build capacity, so that we're able to secure the resources of our people. It's very painful to see that members cannot trace their resources or their money where it is.
Now, the recent trip by President William Ruto to China has been lauded as a key step in deepening long-standing bilateral ties. In the president's trip to the Asian giant, several deals were inked, key among them infrastructure, trade and diplomatic collaboration. Both countries also emphasized the need for reforms in global governance, advocating for stronger representation of developing nations in international justice system and decision-making forums. The high-level talks marked a significant milestone in Kenya-China relation, setting the stage for enhanced economic and geopolitical cooperation.
During the visit, the two sides signed the cooperation plan on jointly promoting the Belt and Road Initiative, aiming to strengthen practical cooperation in infrastructure, trade and investment, digital economy, finance, education and talent development, culture and tourism, and people-to-people exchanges, and to make their high-quality Belt and Road cooperation high standard, people-centered, and sustainable so that it delivers prosperity to both. In the field of trade, China is willing to import more fine Kenyan products such as avocados and anchovies and promote the balanced and sustainable development of bilateral trade. The two sides agreed on quarantine and hygiene requirements for edible aquatic animals to be exported from Kenya to China, which paved the way for Kenya aquatic animal products to be exported to China.
Now, the government has created a new sub-county in the vast Mandera County in a bid to bring services closer to the residents. Mandera County Commissioner Henry Ochako launched the new sub-county in Halilio, with Mandera leaders thanking President William Ruto for ordering the creation of Halolio sub-county, saying the move will bring service closer to wananchi and tackle insecurity in the area.
There are 28 sub-counties that were supposed to be operationalized. In Mandera County, we had Galalio, we had Ashabitu, and we had Dandu sub-counties. In my committee, as the National Security Committee, we have budgeted for 28 of them. And I think Galalio is the first to be operationalized, and it will be followed by Ashabitu and Dandu very soon.
Sub-county itawaletea maendeleo mengi hapa karibu na nyinyi. Kama recruitment ile inafanyika tarehe 30 mwezi huu ambao ni kesho kutwa, kama hii sub-county ingekuja mapema, tungefanya recruitment ya prisons hapa kwetu. Lakini zile ambazo zitakuwa zinafuata, hata nyinyi pia mtafanyiwa recruitment kama wengine. Mnasikia vitambulisho zitapeanwa hapa. Education officers watakuwa hapa. Every national government service itakuja karibu na nyinyi. Si hiyo ni maendeleo mzuri?
Tunashukuru sana. Tunataka haki ya Kalalio ikuje hapa Kalalio tafadhali sana, vile mmetuletea DC, tunataka tupate haki yetu. Tumetosheka kutoka Mandera. Leo sisi tunafurahia sana kwamba Kalalio imepata DC yetu. Tunataka alete haki yetu wapi? Kalalio sub-county.
Now, former Nyeri Senator Ephraim Maina has asked the government to walk its talk in the fight against graft, as reports of embezzlement of funds by state officers continue to make headlines. Maina, who has kept a low profile since his failed Nyeri gubernatorial attempt in the last general election, spoke at the funeral service of his step-brother Erastus Waigwa in Madeira. He says monies being lost are enough for the country to offer most of its services free to the Kenyan citizens.
Kind of colossal resources that are being lost in this country. We are aware. The former President Uhuru Kenyatta said this country loses 2 billion daily. John Buddy, my friend, who is the present CS for Treasury, recently said it is as much as 3 billion per day. Uhuru had said 2 billion. Those kind of figures translate to over 1 trillion in 1 year. I want to say we must, and I would request all the departments associated with dealing with crime, especially regarding public funds, to take this matter seriously. We would wish to see people behind bars for 20 years, 40 years, even Maisha. You know, that's how other countries have come up.
Back to the corridors of justice, where Chief Justice Martha Koome has expressed concerns at the surge in cases of GBV and femicide in the country, which are attributed to societal problems that need a holistic approach by all stakeholders in addressing institutional, technical and administrative gaps that hinder justice for victims. In a meeting with members of the Technical Working Group on GBV, including femicide, the CJ noted that the root challenge is the normalization by communities of sexual and gender-based violence, although it is recognized as a serious human rights violation and a crime. Comey says the judiciary is tightening the gaps and putting in place measures to combat the vice. The judiciary launched the Judiciary's Sexual and Gender-Based Violence Strategy for 2023 to 2030, which aims to build a trauma-responsive justice system for survivors, aligned with the people's approach. This has seen establishment of gender courts to address prolonged timelines in SGBV case resolution. The CJ says funding is a challenge that cuts deep in the justice system.